I can't keep up with them. They change a lot.
They do. They're like chameleons.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Podcast time.
What he do, people?
What he do?
We is here.
We's here.
Yeah.
Tobenna Uzo, Jamie Barfield. How do you keep up with the Gen Zers? Like the language, it changes all the time.
Man, sometimes I'll be up there like giving a sermon, and I try to say something I think is cool.
Yeah,
and just
it's not cool.
Just crickets. I'm like, man, I'm young. Like I feel like I'm, I feel like I'm young, but they too cool for me.
Like Caleb's behind the camera today. Caleb, like how do you learn these new words that everybody uses? What's a new word right now?
Smacks. Slaps
is a good one.
Slaps.
What, like, where did slaps come from? What does it mean, and how did you learn it? Where did you hear it first? Caleb.
I want to say it just started getting said probably sophomore, junior year of high school for me. So,
Like what does it mean? Let's start there.
oh, it means something's great,
tastes
good.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, like, yo, that's slaps.
But it typically means food. It typically either means like food,
Yeah.
or I mean, you could use it in the context of like a
Like this Gatorade slaps.
yes, yeah, that works.
Yeah, but let's just. I think you should use it twice a day. That's your limit. Because once you start using it, like people as cool as you start using like at least 5 times, then it's not gonna be cool anymore.
Yeah, not cool anymore, huh? Like, how do you keep up with this language?
I think that I hear most of them on like things that go viral.
Okay.
You know, and then so I think
Like viral meaning TikTok,
and like
Instagram Reels, stuff like that.
Stuff like that, yeah.
So I could just make one and make up a word.
You never know. It could blow out of nowhere. Yeah.
I might do that.
I feel like you're about to think of something.
I'm coming up with my word right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Y'all's language change, and you're not one of them anymore. You kind of moved up into, you're a millennial. So you've kind of moved out of the ranks of young college kid. Now you're a grown adult. And so now you have to fight to keep up with a language that doesn't make sense.
No. Like I say, like it's lit, and deep down I'm like, what did I just say? But you hear them like, yeah, it's lit. I'm like, Lord help us.
Sometimes I ask my kids, I'm like, do y'all still say this word? And they'll be like, nope, Dad, not at all. There was one that came back into style, and I thought, man, I said that whenever I was little. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember. Like, we say that's rad. Y'all do rad?
No,
I don't.
The word "rad" has not been used inside of
Since
conversation between
1991.
people of the ages of 21 and 11
Yo, that's rad.
since
Jive turkey. I'll still say jive turkey. You can still call your friends that. What's up, jive turkey? No?
since Jesus Freak came out. That was probably the last time "rad" got used.
It's probably before that. Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
You know, we live in a culture that is ever changing in so many different areas. You know, things that were popular aren't popular anymore, and now all of a sudden they're popular again. So, like, my daughter's wearing, I'll call them bell bottoms. They're not bell bottoms, but like the wide leg jeans again.
Okay, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and those were super popular when Maddie and I were in high school. And then everything went skinny. It just kind of slowly started getting skinnier and skinnier to where, like, there were leggings that made it look like you had jeans on so that we could get them as tight as you can. Yeah. And now everything's going back out again.
Yeah. I feel like my brother always wore leggings like that.
Yeah.
It's like jeans. Sorry. He wore jeans like that. But they
look like leggings.
Oh man, even the fanny pack. I
fanny pack's back.
I didn't know it was like a thing back then.
What is it really called?
I don't know. We call it.
Google the real name of that. We always called it a fanny pack whenever we were little.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what the real word is for it.
I've never heard.
But it's the pouch that buttons around behind you.
But now people wear
now people wear it across their chest.
Yeah,
it's popular again.
Like you could call it a sash, but a sash is kind of like a no bag on it. Also on
we could use that as a cool word though. Sash.
No, you can't.
You don't think so? Like New Balance. New Balance are back in style.
I cannot believe it's. I remember a point where I saw New Balance. I'm like, these are so ugly.
Old man shoes is what they were called at one point.
But now
they were super popular when I was in school. Then they went to old man shoes, and now they're back hot again.
Yeah,
a sash.
Thanks to
people like me.
Thanks to Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard is sash, bro.
Yeah, he's real sash.
He's sash.
The real name for a fanny pack is called a waist bag.
Waist bag.
But that sounds gross.
Waist bag.
Waist bag.
Yes.
That sounds like a trash.
So yeah, that's back in style again. And I think everything in our culture probably takes that, that loop where there's, people who, I don't know, from our wording to the things we wear to the things we drive. It was how small can you get? How big can you get? How small can you get? Now, it's just kind of, Carson was saying the other day, hey, don't throw away any of my clothes or give away any of my clothes because all of this is going to come back in style again one day. Yeah. And it's really strange how that works.
Honestly, I personally, I've been big on this for a while now. And I think that, and you guys would know because sometimes I'll be wearing some weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, you do.
I think... I do. But I think that it's the confidence you have when you wear things that changes everything, I feel like if you put on stuff and you're like, you're like everyone's like, nah. But if you wear it with confidence, I feel like people will be like, you know what, this actually looks kind of good, I think that's what's just going on now these days.
Yeah,
those shoes. I actually almost came back with those shoes.
I agree totally. So yeah, as a youth pastor in the year 2023, by the time this is posted, as a youth pastor in 2023, yeah, you have to stay on top of your game on stuff like video games and viral videos. If right now you said to me, give me 3 of your favorite 3 viral videos, I could not name a viral video right now. Not one. I couldn't name one. But you've got to know them because whenever you walk into youth group on Wednesday night, they're talking about them. And even if you're a week late, sometimes things are gone and done and over with in a week. From the video games they're playing, I remember when Fortnite came out, and that was huge. And I remember Simeon saying, it'll be big for a few, maybe a month, and then it'll pass away. But it didn't. It's hung strong. But the new video game that just came out, I don't know, maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, maybe Call of Duty or something.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah. But that was big. I remember conversations on it. Everybody's talking about it for a week, and then all of a sudden it was like it's gone. I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
And so you live in a culture, you specifically in that young age group, to where if you're not staying up on what's relevant to them, you're going to be a week behind and out of conversation that you want to be a part of. So how do you stay up to date?
Well, I was actually thinking about, getting a TikTok because I think with TikTok, everything is on there. But for my personal disciplines and how you can just be on there and end up just scrolling and then time is gone, I don't do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So the closest that I actually come with is Instagram, and I try to see what they be posting and try to follow a lot of actually Caleb put me on some youth accounts that post some funny memes, but also post some things that are hip to the teens these days and stuff. So that's what I kind of use right now. And then I remember when we had the podcast, I think a month ago. Ever since then, I just try to go on even the churchleader.com and just try to like see what kind of things I can do to actually feel young.
Yeah.
Feel young and like,
Yeah, and you're in a weird place because where I don't have to be young and hip and cool, you do, but then you also have to be very strategic in partnering young, hip, and cool with the truth of God that never changes.
Yeah.
And so you can have a cool TikTok video, that works well, that presents the truth of God in such a way that, is beneficial to the youth group. But if you're not careful, a lot of guys, and I've seen this happen, a lot of guys will chase the cool factor inside of youth ministry and miss out on truth. Yeah.
That's true.
So it's a very weird line you have to walk as a youth pastor in this culture.
Yeah, and I remember even you saying it yesterday in your message on the Sacred Season kickoff service. If you don't watch that, go watch that.
Yeah.
You were saying it how like we've gone to a point where there's a lot of things that you can't really separate what a Christian looks like and what a non-Christian looks like. And so even though yes, like there's things that you can do to make yourself look cool, to be cool, because it's what is hip these days with the Gen Z or the younger ones. I still think that there is a way that you can do it where people can clearly see that no, they're being hip, but they look so different than the rest of the world. They're doing it in a different way because they're using it to glorify God at the same time. So I agree. I think there is a serious balance that comes with that for sure.
Here's the 10 coolest things of the week. Ready?
Yeah.
10 coolest things of the week. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. I'm afraid to say some of this stuff because I don't know if it's bad or terrible. Let me find something else. Caleb, find us the hippest things that happened this week. Like hip. Hip is a word?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like hip was a word when I was growing up.
Yeah. Is it fat? It's not
Fat? Yeah, fat was a word.
Fat.
Fat was a word when I was in high school. P-H-A-T. That's how we used to say it.
We call it clout now.
Clout?
Clout is like kind of like the things that you do that gets you a lot of like exposure and stuff. It's called clout. Everybody's looking for clout these days. That's why they go on TikTok and try to do reels so that it can go viral.
What's the danger of social media for kids these days?
Because literally you could be on there just looking, just literally scrolling, looking at things that you're interested in looking at, and then out of nowhere, boom, you just see something else that is probably not wise.
So you're looking at fishing videos or hunting videos, and then all of a sudden, a half-naked girl pops up.
That's a real thing. It really is, and
no controlling it.
You could try to control it, but it's very, very, even when you actually like put all the sensitivity thing like on and making sure that like everything is, there's still things that are technically safe in the world's eyes, but in our eyes, it's one thing that leads you to something else.
So my kids, Caleb didn't have social media till he was 18. Yeah. And that's kind of the rule in our house. Parents watching this, their kids have social media. What's some, maybe a couple suggestions? Maybe I'll throw some in as well. What's some suggestions you have for them as their kids are on social media at a younger age?
Personally, even me, I try to like follow this even to this day. Is once it's getting dark, get off social media.
Yeah.
Don't even like.
Nothing good happens after dark.
Yeah, once it gets dark, cause it's weird. It sounds funny, but even kids know that during the day there is some kind of eye watching them. Whether it's their parents, whether it's just the fact that they're doing stuff. And sometimes being idle, being busy is a huge blessing, because while you're busy, you don't have time to be idle, and then your mind is just like mindlessly scrolling through stuff. But after dinner, I try to make sure that I'm off social media.
Yeah.
I think it's something that a lot of people need to be applying in their lives. Personally,
I love it. I love it. Um, I'm a big fan of accountability with your children. Making sure that you know what they're looking at, what they're, who's messaging them, who they're messaging. I'm a big fan of that stuff, and I don't know where that line is from. They have to learn. It's a weird line. Caleb's 18. I can't, go through everything that he does, but Cammie's 15, and I can for her. So it's this weird line at some point where they kind of grow up a little bit too much, and so you still have to give them accountability, but maybe not as much as you did whenever they were younger. So I would say definitely parents, make sure you're giving them accountability. Make sure you know who they're messaging, who they're commenting, who they're following, things of that nature, because their friend list will tell you a lot about what they're watching, what they're looking at, what they're seeing.
Yeah, and honestly, this is another thing that I think parents should be able to look out for is in other apps like TikTok, Instagram, even Facebook, you can get away with like, okay, I'm not following the wrong accounts, so and so, but parents need to be very, very mindful if their kids are on Snapchat.
Yeah,
because Snapchat is created in a way where you can send stuff out and then the picture is gone, or receive stuff and the picture is gone. And even if your parents grab your phone, they're not gonna see anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's honestly probably, I personally think that's the most dangerous social media platform.
Wow.
It can be such a blessing because you're just always sending pictures of your, of things going on around you to your friends and stuff. But I definitely think it can be used as to do a lot more of the other stuff in life.
I remember when Snapchat first came out, and Maddie and I both signed on, thought it was going to be fun, and within a week we both deleted our accounts, because at that time y'all were in college and y'all were in our lives telling us, "Oh, this is what people are doing with Snapchat." And we're like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, get me off of this thing."
I know.
So, 10, maybe not quite 10 years of Snapchat, 6 years of Snapchat, and it's still going strong, and it's still doing the same thing it was initially created to do. And I agree, man. Very, very, very dangerous. Of all of the ones that are dangerous, all of them are dangerous to a certain degree, but that one is very, very dangerous. Did you find the top 10 hippest things this week?
I don't even know what I would look for. I text you. Because this week was Christmas, which is kind of throwing all the list finders off. Because it's the top 10 things to get your teen for Christmas.
Top 10 hippest things of 2022.
Let me see if I can.
What do you think it is?
Me, I don't know. I've not seen any like TikTok dances that people be doing. I think last year there was a lot of the whoa thing, but this year I've not seen any like the gritty.
The gritty.
Yeah,
I've seen the gritty.
yeah.
I've seen that because NFL players will score and do the gritty.
Yeah.
I forgot. Somebody did it.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. Okay, here you go. Ready?
Yeah.
Top 10 trends from 2022.
Who posted it?
Ready? This is from purewow.com. Purewow.com. Top 10. Number 1, scrap cooking. Zero waste movement. So you use everything. From veggie stock, every part of the fruit of the meat, every part of it, you use everything.
This whole list is for like 40-year-old people.
Number 2, glitter, sequins, and sparkles.
What?
Number 3, twee everything.
Don't even know what that means.
You know what tweed is?
Yeah, tweet?
Twee.
Oh, tweet.
TWEE.
There's something that people used to
Air
say.
fryer finger foods, for sure.
Mom.
Air fryer.
Rich chocolate hair. I guess blondes are out now. Moon parties. Moon parties are a thing.
What's that?
Like the signs, the zodiac signs, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I see.
Astrology.
Yeah, I see a lot of people post astrology.
Hibiscus is the big flavor. You ever eaten anything hibiscus?
Isn't that a
No,
flower?
that's a flower, right?
Yeah. Turning off technology is a big thing. I don't even know what pointed slingbacks are, but there you go. There's your top 10 things of pure wow. What do you think?
I knew this was on it. So I actually searched top slangs for Gen Z.
Yeah.
And W is one of them. Like the W.
You taking a W?
Like taking a W.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of them.
Like I'm a win.
Yeah.
I won.
TFW. I see this all the time, and I just found out what
TFW. I'm gonna guess what it means.
Right.
TFW
That one's
means
easy.
I never actually
I have no clue.
That feeling when.
that feeling when I see that every time. I'm like always looking at it like what does that mean?
So you're like TFW. Maddie walks in the room.
And then you would post like a video of hard
And then
eyes.
You put it,
Of what?
Hard eyes.
or
Heart eyes.
or you post a gif of you doing the
Like,
Will Smith thing,
Like yeah. TFW. That's coming to. I'm a TFW. Something.
yeah, and
Sermon
then
series near you.
Ooh, here we go.
sheesh.
Sheesh.
I can't believe I forgot that one. They do that all the time.
I saw
The
little
middle
kids in here walking around in church. They're like, sheesh. I'm like, what are
The
they
middle
doing?
schoolers
Yeah,
love
Like
that.
ice in their veins. Isn't that ice in their veins?
Yeah, it's like having icing. Yeah, and yeah, my brother actually was talking about this when I went back home. He was talking about.
Can you hear him good? He's away from the mic. You good?
He was talking to my cousin, and he's like, "Why you always say period every every sentence, right?" And this is the thing that people are having a sentence like just talking, and they're
Yeah.
like period, and the period is not like just period; it's like period with a T at the end.
Period.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, what? What is that?
Carson uses period all the time.
Does she?
Period.
Oh my goodness! And then slaps. We already talked about. The other one was bussin'. You remember?
Oh,
like
bussin'?
When food tastes really good.
Yeah, that
Yo, that's
one-
bussin'.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be Sash.
Yeah, it's gonna be Sash. You guys heard this
First right here.
Yeah. We know goat. Everybody knows
Goat.
what goat
Yep.
is.
You think there can only be one goat?
That's a tough question.
Like, is Messi the goat or is he a goat? Like Caleb always tries to put like.
if you call someone the goat, then there's no second place.
Right, I think so too.
And if you say, "Oh, he's a goat," like then there's probably like multiple
Okay.
people.
What else?
Just an opinion. This ain't it, chief. This ain't it, chief. I don't know. I'm weak. Okay, that's been for a few years now. Living rent free.
In your mind, I'm living rent free in your mind.
I feel like LeBron is living rent free in a lot of Michael Jordan fans' mind.
Yikes!
Ooh.
We're not gonna talk about that today.
Yikes! Pele passed away,
He did.
Today.
and well, not today. Whenever they're watching this,
December 29th.
yeah. And many would think that he's the greatest soccer player of all time.
My dad does.
Messi won the World Cup,
He did.
7 Ballon d'Ors.
7 Ballon d'Ors,
Yeah.
and I would go with him as the greatest of all time.
I personally will go with Messi as well.
Yeah, me
So
too.
you had to rank a top 3. Who you got?
Being unbiased,
Unbiased.
I'll say Messi.
You want to put Ronaldo in there? I see it.
Not that Ronaldo. I'll put the other Ronaldo
R9?
before R9, and then I'll put probably for number 3. I'll put Zidane.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my top 3.
So not Ibrahimovic.
No, he said unbiased.
Oh, my
Okay.
bad.
You want to hear the?
Yeah,
you don't wanna
give me
hear
the
it.
bias one.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic first for sure,
And
and I'll put Cristiano Ronaldo second because I was actually a Ronaldo fan growing up, and then number 3, I will give Ronaldinho. Yeah, just because he's so
good.
Skillful. Yeah. What about you?
Messi number 1.
Yeah.
I watched the Pele. Was it?
It was a movie.
What was the movie called? Was it called Pele?
It's called Pele.
I think it is called Pele.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Pele, Birth of a Legend.
Birth of a Legend. Watch the movie. I love documentaries.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a documentary, but it kind of felt like one. Kind of walked with his life from, all the way through being done on the national team. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, to me, he is number 2. Am I biased or unbiased right now?
I'll give you.
You give me those two?
I'll give you those two. I'll give you
What about this one?
If you say an American soccer player, I'm going to go out of here. This is unbiased right now.
Oh, I'm supposed
This
to
is
do unbiased. Okay.
Come on.
Unbiased.
One
Number 3, I would have to say Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, no? Okay. Fair
Because I didn't start in soccer until 2011, 2012.
Yep.
So I don't have a lot of that history with some of the guys that you do.
Yeah. I think that time was when Ronaldo and Messi were just going
Back and forth,
Yeah.
beast mode.
Yeah.
And if Messi is the greatest, then Ronaldo wasn't too far away from him.
I agree.
Unbiased, it's really hard not to put Weston McKennie in those top 3. I thought about Michael Bradley in there,
Landon
Tyler
Donovan.
Adams. No, not Landon Donovan.
my
But
Okay.
how about y'all? Who's the greatest soccer player of all time? Put it in the comment section.
Yeah, put it in the
All right,
comment.
and then we're done with this one. Okay. Top 3 NBA players of all time.
Oh no.
Rank them top 3 right now. Let's go.
Like just
Go
straight up.
straight up, unbiased.
LeBron,
Okay.
number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Michael Jordan. Number 3, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Ooh. Hakeem. Caleb, top 3.
Number 1 is Mike. Number 2 is LeBron. And number 3 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Greatest scorer in the history of basketball.
Unbiased. Go watch The Last Dance.
Man,
The PG version of it.
yes, because Carson
Carson watched the unrated version and couldn't understand why I would let Caleb watch this show. I was like, Carson, baby, there's a PG version of it and an unrated. Michael Jordan, the greatest athlete of all time.
Okay.
Greatest team athlete of all time. I don't know how to say that, but he's
unlike a Tiger Woods or a Michael
right.
Phelps.
Tiger, Michael, they're just different. I mean, they control the game themselves, but someone who's played a team game, Michael Jordan is the best ever of any sport ever. He is the greatest player that's ever walked this earth. And I hated him growing up. This is from someone who, I couldn't stand him. I was so anti-Mike. I always, Pippen was, he only receives goods because of Scottie Pippen. Pippen's a beast, but man. Number 2 is LeBron. And then number 3 is, I would love to say Shaq because he is the most dominant player I've ever seen play, but he's not the greatest. But for me, as much as, again, I don't like any of these 3 in my top 3, but Kobe is the 3rd greatest to me.
Wow. I wasn't ready for that one.
Kobe was unbelievable.
Okay.
Kobe probably sits at 4 or 5.
And I didn't like any of those 3.
Yeah.
Even when I'm a Miami Heat fan, and when LeBron played for Miami Heat, I would not tell people that I was a Heat fan. I love D-Wade. D-Wade was my boy, and LeBron messed it all up. So
That's crazy. I never knew you were a Miami Heat fan.
yep. Lonzo Mourning, that was my dude. Lonzo's my man. So I was him and Grandmama Larry Johnson in Charlotte, and Muggsy Bogues. Those were my 3 dudes. And then whenever they kind of all broke up, Larry Johnson got hurt. Alonzo signed in Miami. I followed Alonzo to Miami and started my Heat allegiance then.
So you know how you said this stuff about Ronaldo being on top when you started watching soccer?
Mhm.
When I started watching basketball, it was 2011. And that was like the time where like
LeBron,
coming
yeah.
up,
The
you know,
Heatles
so-
teams, man. Those
Yeah.
teams were so good.
Yeah, so good.
So,
So, anyways, some of these people who are watching this for ministry advice and wisdom are like, you just spent 15 minutes on sports.
and that's okay.
And that's okay. All right. Thank y'all for hanging out with us a few minutes
Thank you,
today.
guys.
Yeah. So drop some comments or drop some words in the comment sections and tell us what's hot right now.
Yeah.
Sheesh
Sheesh.
or sash.
Sash.
Sash. Drop them down there. That would be sash.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Let's go.
Let's